Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. So I'm here at the park with the Walkera RODEO 150 FPV quadcopter. And if you missed the first part of the review, I did kind of an unbox, inspection, and setup of this little guy. I'll have that up on the top in the cards and also down in the description of where you can find that video, and also where you can find the specs and current pricing on this guy. I'll have down there below the video as well. You can click on the link and check that out. But today's all about doing a line of sight flight with this, and then also doing an FPV recorded goggle flight with some commentary, so I'll have all that up as well. So first battery pack, just going to go ahead and run through a line of sight, just see how fast it is, line of sight, see how it flies, and then we're going to put on the Fat Shark goggles and see how this works. If we're going to see how this monopole antenna works with a monopole antenna on the Fat Sharks, and I'll have that all recorded. Anyway, let's go ahead and boot this up and see how it does line of sight flight first. Okay, so you saw there I went ahead and started up the quad first and then started up the transmitter. You can do either or as long as you do it kind of quickly. You know, one or the other, pretty quick. So anyway, here we are. We're seeing that it went ahead and it's ready to go. We had some blinking there. We see the LED lights on the front. So let's go ahead and launch this bad boy and see what it's all about. So arming on this thing is to the bottom left. So we hear a couple of beeps, and we're hearing a beep that it's armed, and I'm also seeing some red lights inside here indicating that it's armed, and there it went and disarmed. So it seems like maybe 5 or so seconds, maybe 10 seconds, and it will disarm. So I'm going to arm again, and I'm going to start off in regular self-leveling mode, and this is the switch all the way up. So there we go. So we're flying line of sight, self-leveling mode. Now this thing's supposed to get like 7 to 8 minutes of flight time, and I am getting some pretty heavy wind coming from that direction. So you can see how it wants to drift. I'm getting maybe 5 to 15 once in a while coming from there, and you can probably hear that in the mic. So anyway, you can see that I'm in beginner self-leveling mode, where I can just tilt the stick all the way and it won't reach past a certain point, and it will self-level itself really aggressively. Okay, so let's get a close-up look at this thing. Well, it's got some good battery power. Really cool looking little guy. You can see that LED light on the front, and I'm seeing the red light on the side front there is lit up. Really neat looking. Let's go ahead and do a, see what the yaw's like. So that's the full yaw. And let's go ahead and do a punch test. So from a hover to full throttle up. Wow. Very peppy for 2S. Amazing. Let's see what happens when we cut the throttle all the way off. Okay. Oh. Wow. So it did cut the throttle, and it came back on, and it hit the ground, and because it was trying to self-level, but it's a-okay. No problem here. Alright, so that's very astonishing, very fast for a 2S 7.4 volt battery. Let's go ahead and switch this toggle switch down to the middle position. And what this is going to be is kind of like a horizon mode, where you can do flips. It'll keep going, but it will try to self-level itself. So let's go ahead and try some flips here. So left flip. Nice. And you know what? This is flying just like the Walkera F210 I did a review on. You can check that out if you want as well. Not quite as fast, but look at these tight, nice flips and how stable this is. Wow. Very impressive. Front flip. Back flip. Awesome. I'm going to go back into beginner self-leveling mode and just do a side full pitch forward and throttle, and you can see how fast this thing is. Ready, go. Holy cow. Jeez, yeah, Okay, Walkera has another winner here. Oh, jeez. All right, I am happy. Wow. Okay, so it holds up to the, you know, Walkera line of sight test like the F210 did. What would be cool is if you could squeeze a little 3S battery in here, it would even have more power. I'm not sure if you can do that yet. Let's go ahead and switch back into horizon mode where we can do our flips, and let's try some like triple double flips and stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead up and try like a double left roll. Up, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I could have done 4 right there. Let's try 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh. Yeah. Okay. Seal of approval from Dustin on this one. You guys are gonna have a blast with this thing, I'm telling you. Let's try some constant throttle on flips, some arc flips. So I'm gonna do a throttle on, and I'm not gonna let go of the throttle. I'm just gonna do like an arc, like I normally do with a lot of my reviews. So throttle on, arcing. That was a fast arc. Throttle up, slower. Wow. Slow again. Ooh. Wow, okay, so I nailed the ground there, but it kept going. Hearing beeping, low battery beeping. I'm seeing the front flash pretty hard there. All right, I'm gonna flip back into self-leveling. I'm gonna land this thing because I don't want to destroy the battery. It does sound like the beeper could be a little louder. So landing there and disarming. All right. So you can hear the beeper, but you know, I wish it was a little bit louder, because you're probably not going to be able to hear that when you're flying FPV. But at least there is a beeper. Oh, we got some grass in the rubber there, but I slammed the ground a few times pretty hard, and everything seems a-okay. I'm not seeing any broken anything. Wow. Okay, but I think maybe you can put a louder beeper on here. You could connect it if you wanted to and stick it to the bottom or the side or something if you didn't want a louder beeper. Oh wow, guys. Okay, so that was a very fun line of sight test. You can see how well this thing performed, how well it held its ground in the air when I did really put it through some radical maneuvers. So really impressed. I mean, geez, I couldn't ask for more on that one. This thing performs very well. For my flight abilities, this thing was a blast. I mean, you could see those flips. I mean, I was doing quadruple flips up there, tumbling down, and still able to, you know, maintain and hit the ground a couple times. Seems good. And those arc turns are a blast with this thing. You put it in medium mode, like horizon mode, where it's still slow self-leveling, but it can do flips, and you're gonna have a blast with line of sight flipping and stuff. I didn't try acro line of sight. I don't really like to try acro line of sight unless I really have to, just because it's easy to crash in acro, and I don't want to mess this thing up before I do the FPV with it. But anyway, let's go ahead and pop another one of these batteries in for 2S, man. This is incredible. The amount of power this thing has, amazing. Imagine if it could take 3S. This thing would be a rocket. Already is a rocket, but imagine with 3S. Anyway, let's go ahead and pop these Fat Sharks on and see how it does FPV. Alright, cool. So I got a new battery charged up and ready to go for an FPV flight, and we're going to be using the Fat Sharks here for the FPV, and I'll also have this recorded so you can see how it's looking on the glasses. as well as some commentary. So let's see how this does with the goggles. Okay, awesome. So the goggles are on and ready to fly. So let's go ahead and arm this sucker. Left stick to the bottom left, and ready to go. Going to be in horizon mode, or actually self-leveling standard mode. So we're lifting off, nice and smooth. Go ahead and do some fast runs. Wow, okay. Definitely nice and quick. So I'm just full stick forward. And I'm just pitching full forward now. So really quick and stable. If you're just learning, this is a perfect mode for you. It won't go over in this mode. You just control the throttle and you should be safe. I'm going to switch into horizon mode. So going to the middle. So here's where we should have some flips. So I'm going to fly around. It will self-level, but we can also do flips and rolls, just like that. Whew. Nice. So I'm noticing this thing is really easy to fly here. Amazingly easy to fly. Let's go ahead and do some front flips. Nice. Left roll. Awesome. And you know what? The video is actually really good with this monopole antenna. I'm seeing a little bit of breakup, but really not that bad. Let's go around the park here. See if we can get around this this park fence. Yeah, so the video is still super clear. Very satisfied with this video with this monopole antenna. There we are. I'm gonna go into acro mode. Now I'm not the best in acro, but let's just try it. So this will not self-level, keep in mind. There's a double roll. We gotta make sure we keep ourselves together here. Nice. Whoa, okay. As you can see, I need some acro practice still. I'm a little bit more used to the self-leveling, so this is, you know, a little bit tough for me, but not too bad. Able to maintain. Ooh, until that happens. Okay, so we crashed into the fence. So let's go and retrieve this thing and see what the damage is. That was a good crash test. Right when I said I was able to handle, of course. Alright, so here we are coming around the bend here, seeing really easy to hear this guy. I turned off the controller, and as you can see, it started to blink, beep. So let's see what the damage is. Okay, so one of the antenna tubes came out. Let's see what else we got going here. I'm gonna go ahead and unplug this really quick. It looks like the battery bay slightly popped out in the front. Kind of came out of its little ridge, just barely. Let's just go ahead and turn this thing off, so we're not wasting the battery in case we can continue to fly a little bit. Okay, so assessing the damage. This prop looks fine, a little bit of dirt there. All the arms are perfect, no breaking in the arms. I slammed the fence pretty hard and it looks like this foot tweaked in a little bit. Now you can see that compared to this foot is straight down. You can see this foot is a little bit tweaked. So not broken, just a little bent on the foot. The propeller on this one's okay though. The propeller on this one, the trailing edge got slightly chewed up, just a tad, not too bad, probably bringing it out of balance, but it's not bent or anything, it's just a little bit chewed up. And then this end probably hit one of those fence links and got a little notch in it. But really that's it. Everything else looks good, just one of these antenna tubes came out. So let me go look for that and then we'll try to reboot and see if we can fly some more. Okay, so I couldn't find the other antenna tube. No problem. It's a cheap part. I think I have some laying around the house I can just cut. But gonna go ahead and continue to fly, and I just want to take off this other one just so it's balanced. I don't think there should be really any problem as long as I keep it up in the air and shut off the motors. If I crash, you should be okay without antenna tubes for now. But just for good measure, I'm gonna go ahead and replace this one propeller that got kind of notched and chewed up in the back. And that's about it. And then I'm going to go ahead and continue to fly and see how it does. Alright, let's get this thing back up in the air. Alright, so recording on the goggles again. Let's go ahead and keep it in. I think I'm going to keep it in horizon mode just because I'm not the best acro flyer. So we're arming again and let's lift off. Alright, everything seems fine. Got one new prop on there after that hardcore crash into the fence. And we are A-okay. Let's go ahead and just try flying low and fast. Nice. Alright, so super fast. You can see how fast this thing is. And it's very nimble. Let's go ahead and go up here and do some more rolls and spins and stuff. Let's get up kind of high. And do two really easy to do rolls. Just cranking the stick all the way. Letting it off. Okay, so I'm hearing some beeping, so I should probably bring this thing in. So after crashing, I only have one battery for this, and I did recharge it. Let's just do some close proximity here. Woo! Oh, nice. So I'm going to bring it in because the battery is beeping at me. So let's go ahead and come in and land. Nice. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed that flight test of the Walkera 150, RODEO 150. Had a lot of fun on that. Let's go ahead and run through a few pros and cons real quick now that we got a quick little flight test with FPV. Again, I was using these Fat Shark goggles and they did really good with this monopole antenna and the monopole antenna on here. Just for this little park here, it seemed fine. Occasional breakup. I mean, you might be able to get a little bit better reception if you go ahead and put on like a cloverleaf antenna, high quality one, and then go ahead and match it with your receiver. But overall, I'm pretty impressed with the monopole. It did fine for me. Nice and clear throughout the park. A little bit of breakup it seemed like over there at the other edge, but there are some power lines and stuff, and you never know why it's breaking up. But anyway, very durable. You saw me smash into that fence over there. I was coming around and it hit it pretty darn hard and tumbled down. I think it hit the roof over there and then landed in the grass. And kind of cool that it was beeping at me when I turned off the controller. It did have like a location beep, so I was able to find it in the grass. The grass is a little bit taller over there. And all that really happened was this foot got a little bent in. The rubber's still on there. This foot got a little bent in, and one of these antenna tubes flew off. So you might be a good idea to glue those in maybe with some, I don't know, some super glue, just a tad of super glue, so those won't pop off. But the propellers did not chew up the antenna, so that's fine. This antenna was okay. One of the propellers got a little shaved from hitting the fence, so I went ahead and replaced that and got back up in the air no problem. So pretty satisfied with this thing so far. I have the camera tilted up. You can see how it's kind of at maybe 35 degree. It's kind of following suit to this little notch here that the screw goes into, and you can see it's kind of at that same angle. But overall, pretty impressed. If there was one con on this, it would be that it's pretty short flight time. It is only in real life flight about 5 minutes of flight time. If you're just going really slow and maybe cruising around and not really punching it, yeah, you might get the 7 to 8 minutes as advertised, but with some kind of quick punching and flying, I was getting realistically about 5 minutes. One more little con I might have is it was kind of difficult to get in and out the battery, just because it's kind of tight in there, and then this hump does come up a little bit, so it kind of makes room for the connectors, but it was still kind of hard to get the connectors in and everything pushed in. So I'm not sure how they would do that, but maybe like a better little notch for the connectors, so you had a little bit more room for connecting that up. But just took a little bit extra time, so no really big deal on that one. But the camera was really clear. Really impressed with the camera. It was really clear and it seemed okay. I didn't see any OSD on this one. I'm not sure if it's a setting that I didn't turn on. I think up here was just the channels and the bind button under this little flap that I went over in my initial unbox, inspection, and setup. And then these are just for extra receivers and to change the type of protocol here. So I'm not sure on the OSD on this. Maybe it's something you can turn off and on if you go into the flight controller with that mini USB there, but I didn't try to do that yet, that micro USB. And of course the controller. I mean, the Devo 7 is an awesome controller. No problems here. It is only using this switch here, of course, for, you know, stabilize, horizon, and acro mode. As you can see, I wasn't the best in acro. That's when I crashed at the fence. But for those of you who are kind of intermediate, that horizon mode is really good because it's easy to control, and if you get in trouble, you just let off the right stick and it will self-level. So, you know, that's kind of my safe zone there in that horizon mode. Otherwise, guys, really stoked, really satisfied with this guy so far. It's probably one of those things where you're going to want to bring a bunch of batteries, so I'd recommend getting a bunch if you want more than 5 minutes of flight time at each flight and you want to continue flying. Go ahead and get a bunch of those little batteries and they should be good. I still have yet to test if this will take 3S. I have some 3S 450 milliamp batteries that fit in here, and they're probably going to be, you know, half the flight time, but it would be amazing to see how 3S is on this, if it can handle it. But anyway, the Fat Sharks that I'm using, the F150, the RODEO 150 will be in the links down in the description. So don't forget to check those out, see what the current pricing is, and all the specs on this stuff. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that little review flight, test flight. If you missed the initial one of the unbox, inspection, and setup, where I get really close and talk about everything, go ahead and check out the card above, or the link will also be in the description, and all this stuff will be in the description as well. And I also do a lot of reviews and flight tests like this and some mods, so go ahead and check out the channel. I think you'll like it. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.